Man, I don't know if it's getting easier or harder to raise hell. All I know is it's a lot easier to raise hell when you're frustrated, like we are right now, Hell Raisers. Welcome to Hell Raisers Podcast, baby. I got a special guest up in the house today, and it's time to continue to rant on the season because we dropped to 0-5, baby. Or 0-4. What are we? 0-4, 0-5? Man, that might as well all be the same at this point. Anyways, let's raise some hell, baby. Welcome to Hell Raisers Podcast, y'all. Let's go on and let's do it.
Come on. Hey yo, it's game time, but then it's more than a game. Yeah, it's my time. I'm steady moving the chains. We the kings, baby, but yo, we rolling, strolling. Ain't nobody gonna take the throne that I'm holding. I'll be bringing the boom in the southwest sun, or we can do it at night. But there's no way you can run. I'm breaking bones like the music busting them amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands, cause I'm a sure bet. Representing the town, city of the cross is my stomping ground. That's literal, so y'all better give me respect. When you up in my house, your whole squad get wrecked. Gonna listen to your people while they rooting for you, cause once you all on my site, you ain't gonna know what to do. When the smoke clears from the ruckus I bring, y'all had better bow down. You can call me the king now.
Yeah. What is up on my Hellraisers? What is up? Check it out, y'all. I got my boy in the house
That
today,
intro
man.
is so nasty. I love that intro. That song goes so hard. Oh
I
my
makes you want. I
god,
makes you want to raise some hell, right? Right?
man, what's going
What
on,
is
Gabe?
up to
How
all
you
my
doing today,
Hellraisers,
sir?
man? What is up, my boy Jersey the King, up in the place to be
Sir.
today? What is up, my friend?
Yes,
How
sir.
you doing, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Had to take some time off and just get my mind right, of course. But
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Feeling a lot better, man. I'm be back with the show this Saturday with the
Okay.
Gridiron. So
Okay.
things
Yeah.
things are picking back up. We are actually changing the time for the Jersey the King show and possibly the day. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to double check. So I'll keep everybody posted. But yeah, man, got a lot of things going on. Fuel's growing. Of course, there's new shows. The A Team with RC just came out with Amanda, Amber, and RC, the ladies of Fuel. We had
I
another
seen
new
that.
show that just joined the Fuel family. Yeah, another new show that just joined the Fuel family called Girl Chat Sports
I
with
was
Mo
actually
and Mel.
watching that today, bro. I was digging it. I was laid up in bed. I've been, dealing with my back pain. I hurt my back, and I was like, "Whoa,
Mm,
what is this?" Okay, just checking it out, man. These girls know what they're talking about.
yeah, and they cover a lot of just sports in general, but they also cover Vegas sports as well. So I'll definitely be making some connections with them, of course, and getting some more Vegas sports talked about as well. And I think what I may be doing is changing up the Jersey the King show a little bit and focusing a lot more on Vegas sports with that show as well. So I'll keep you
Okay,
guys updated, keep you guys posted. But like I said, there's some new shows coming out. The latest episode of the Player Perspective just dropped as well. So make sure you guys tune in and check that out. So, there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on.
lot,
Most
lot,
definitely.
lot going on, bro. And I got to tell you, man. You know, Renegades. Damn, bro. First of all, y'all, I got to apologize to my boy Jersey right here. Okay, he's Miss Vegas fan right here, man. Y'all know what happened with the merger, right? They're waiting for Vegas to come back, but
Yes.
it was like, look, man, look, we're the defending XFL champions, dog. We're gonna adopt you this year. It's on, man. We got you, Jersey. And all I did was drag you onto the bandwagon of an 0-4 squad, my friend. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't take this no more. Damn, man.
Listen, listen. There's still an opportunity for the Renegades to make the playoffs. It's a long shot, a long one, but there's a possibility out there for them to actually make the playoffs. But it just happens to be the fact that they have to win the rest of the games, the regular season,
Every game, every game.
and they
Yeah.
have to be like blowout wins. We talking like double digit wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just to have that point spread difference when it comes to the tiebreakers and in the playoff rules. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough, but it's possible. That's all I can
Well,
say.
all I know is last year you would have told me that they were going to win the championship during the season. I would have been like, yeah, that ain't happening. Now, granted, it's a lot harder this year with the new playoff format. It's not the
Hmm.
top two teams anymore from each conference. Now it's the two best team, the two conference winners, and then the two best records. So it definitely is an uphill climb for this team, man. But man, we got a lot to get into with this squad today because
Yeah.
there is a lot wrong going on right now. And it's messed up, man, because when we're looking at some of the good things, like, they went into last week with the top rated offense in the league. That, Luis Perez is still right now, even after that horrible game he had the other day, the first bad game of the season for him, by the way. That's for all of you
Exactly.
fools out there that are trying to talk about this dude's the problem. I'm sorry, but now he still
Yeah,
is
because I
as
don't
of
see
right now.
how with that argument, not to cut you off, I don't see
No, it's all right.
how he's the problem when he's leading the league in passing yards.
Exactly.
And our defense, the defense is what's been really giving up games. Let's
Yeah.
keep it 100. The offense has done majority of this work, and we're not going to talk about this past game because, of course, both the offense and the defense struggle, and we're going to get into that. But look at the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
offense, regardless, even in game one when we didn't even really have a run game going, Luis Perez and those wide receivers in that passing game kept that offense in the game
They did.
until
They did.
until of course the meltdown in the second half on both offense and defense. We were only able to put up 3 more points. Then you look at week 2 against the Battlehawks. Offense was in the game the whole time. Defense was in the game for the majority of the game. Just that last scoring drive for
Mhm.
St. Louis, you know what I mean, is what really ultimately lost the game for Arlington. So, well, at
Yeah.
least the last 2 scoring drives, I should say, for St. Louis and them
Yeah. I
converting.
mean, you look at what was it, the St. Louis game and the DC game back to back, where they went into that final minute with a lead, bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think like me and you, we were kind of debating this on GMP 100 last week when it was talking about when we were talking about the conversion rule. But I would allude to what you say when it comes to when you have a lead with less than a minute left. What you said was right, spot on with what I'm about to say, which is you said then it falls on your defense. Your offense has done its job. They've gotten you that lead. Hell, they had a 10-point lead over DC a couple weeks ago with 2 minutes left in the game, and it didn't
Yep.
help that when they kicked the field goal to what was it, to put them up by 10, and then what the one thing you don't want to do, and they turned around and gave up. It was like a 58-yard kickoff return to set up DC like at the 30-yard line. And so there's just so much wrong that happened, yes, this past week, which we'll get into here in a bit. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think overall, it's been the defense on the season. Luis
Yep.
Perez, yes. Yeah, I mean, Luis Perez, I mean, come on, y'all. He's done what he can to try to carry this team. He has one bad game. You got to at least give the dude that. You know what I mean? He didn't throw any in this. It wasn't like he was fumbling the ball and doing all kinds of stuff in this game. Houston's defense is pretty solid, man. So
Right.
they
And it was
and go ahead.
it was a sack fumble at the end of the game. Let's keep it real. It was a sack
Yeah.
fumble at the end of the
Yes.
game
Yeah.
in one interception that wasn't even his fault. The receiver, first off, didn't run the route right and then slipped on the route. So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you can't sit here and put that on Luis. The
Well, and then
receiver,
let's look at how the game started, bro. Like that first drive. Yeah, that first drive, they're rolling, right? He's moving the ball, and then he's got Sal Canella wide open up the middle, man. If he catches that ball, he is gone to the house.
Yep.
Canella, uncharacteristically, drops the ball, and they end up having to punt, and it ends up like they never recovered from that. Like you were seeing the momentum getting built, and it was like, okay, this is what the way they started that game offensively. I was like, this, I was expecting it, so I wasn't surprised. I'm like, yeah, I'm expecting this.
Yeah.
And then after that, and you see Bob Stoops talked about it. You tell he was frustrated when he was going into the half. And they asked him what's going on, and you could tell he was frustrated. He goes, "How are we going to come out in our first 2 drives? We're moving the ball, and then all of a sudden we cannot move the ball."
Yeah.
And you could tell, like he's saying, he's very frustrated, man. Yeah,
Yep.
it was.
Even straight off field goal. The defense held Houston to a field goal, and then it was just a debacle from there on both sides of the ball.
It
So
was.
hard to move the ball on offense, whether it was running or passing. And then on defense, it was just like the defense was still on the bus the whole game.
Yeah.
You know, there were sometimes there were some in some ways they showed up. You know, on some plays they showed up. But
Yeah.
for the majority of that game, the defense was on the bus.
And I think it's been like that all season, though. We've seen it, bro. Like during the game, the defense will make plays, right? You'll see him get like a 3 and out or something. Boom, you're rolling. And then when the defense comes back out on the field, they give up a long drive or something like that. And it's like, and this is why I've been saying it all season, is that the one thing with the defense is there's been no consistency, particularly in key plays on third downs. Because most of the time when they get a team into a third down, they're 3rd and long, say, and they're like, okay, you're in a position to get off the field here, they end up giving up the big 3rd down, and that usually turns into a scoring drive. It happened with DC on more than one occasion where they had a long, it was like a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, and then I see Tamu tuck the ball, take off running for 15, 16 yards, man, and it's like, man, what are y'all doing out there? You know, Tamu, that's what he's doing. And that's another thing, comes down to adjustments. You know what I mean? That's another thing, is when it comes down to adjustments and your guys just aren't, you know, defensive coordinator Jay Hayes, I'm really wondering if he's going to continue to make the calls, because anybody that's ever watched a Bob Stoops coached team, even going back to Oklahoma, knows that he prides himself on defense. That's what, and that's weird, because last year with the Renegades, man, that's what they were doing. They were playing defense. They were in ball games. The problem was they couldn't get enough offense up till Luis came in. This year, it's been the exact opposite. They've had the offense and no defense, man, and it's been frustrating.
And it's crazy when you have Vic Beasley as your lead linebacker.
Yeah.
Veteran, NFL veteran on top of that.
Yeah, you got Donald Payne back there. You know what I mean? And they've got some players there. I think, though, the defensive backs, that's where a lot of the inconsistency has been as well. Plus, you know what was driving me crazy against Houston? Tackle somebody. Tackle somebody. These guys were slipping tackles on us like crazy.
What me as well is Bob Stoops. A couple weeks ago, I sent in a question about this on I believe a couple weeks ago as well.
Yeah, you did. You did.
You're publicly stating that the secondary needs to get better, but you aren't making any transactions to get the secondary better. Yes. There's guys out there that were cut that shouldn't have been cut on some of these teams that are available. Go get them. Yeah. Boost the secondary up, because for you to publicly state that the secondary isn't where you want it to be, basically, and you haven't made any moves.
Yeah.
Come on now. Why do you
what was this? I think you sent that question after the St. Louis game, right? So we're talking 2 weeks ago. And it's weird to me because you're speaking of moves, bro. Okay. And they did make a move this week, but it was kind of a head scratcher type of move. Renegades released kicker Taylor Russolino. Now, understand he was injured last week, so they brought in Jonathan Garibay. I don't know how injured Taylor is, but you know, he's Renegades all-time leading scorer. It was 5 of 6 this year. So it's not like he's having a bad year. But that's the only move I'm seeing. And I'm like, why are we not trying? There's talent out there, bro. We talk about this every week because of the fact that this merger caused team, you know, that shrunk down the amount of teams. There is so much talent that is available out there on both sides of the ball.
I mean,
and I don't know why they're going to. Yeah, they did. And I'm expecting him to suit up this week, if I'm being real.
Me too. Yeah, I am too. I'm hoping he does, because that's going to be something big in the interior on that line. You know, that's going to be huge for the interior on that line for Arlington. And I think that's going to make a big difference in the run game, you know, stopping the run and helping out on that first level, you know, to where the linebackers in the second level have an easier job. you know what I mean, throughout the game when it comes to the run game and the pass game. I just think Saint Amour coming in is going to be key. I think though Russolino, to be honest, I think he's out for the season, and
And
I think that's why
I'm
they
wondering,
picked.
yeah, and I'm thinking I haven't seen anything for sure, but I do know, like I said, he was injured last week. So that tells
Mhm.
me this injury is a lot more than, just a kicker needing a couple of weeks off, and so they're making this move now. But if you're trying to make these moves now, then where's the defensive moves? Where's the secondary moves, man? I like
Right.
some of the guys in secondary. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? There's some of the guys that played well. It's just not they haven't been consistent as a unit. Like, defensive back Teddy Adewusi, like he was actually my renegade of the game for this game. He had 7 tackles, 1 sack. He made some good plays. He had some breakups, and so it was actually between him and Redmond. Redmond had the 2 sacks on the day, but Adewusi, he's one of the guys in that secondary that I'm seeing making plays, but everybody else seems to like make a play and then they take the next defensive
Mhm.
possession off. You know what I mean? And that's unacceptable. To be honest, that's
Right.
unacceptable. It really is, bro. So I don't know, man. All I
Stupid.
know is when I'm looking at this game, I figured Chuck Long calling plays offensively. He was brilliant the week before against DC. And this week it was so up and down with him. There was some plays that I was like, "What?
Yes.
What are you doing? What are you doing there?"
Even
They're going for
running.
yeah, bro. They're sitting there on 3rd and 3, and you're gonna go for it on 4th if you have to. So run it on 3rd and 3, and instead he has Luis take a deep shot, and I'm like, okay, if it's 2nd and 3, that I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get the deep shot, but on 3rd and 3, knowing that you're going to go for it on 4th, I didn't get that, man. So, and they ended up not even
Yeah.
converting it on 4th and 3. So they ended up losing the ball anyway. That was the one me and you were texting that I was telling you, man, I would have taken the field goal there, and they weren't, and they weren't.
Exactly.
So it was just a very frustrating game, y'all. But I'm sure we ain't the only ones. But check it out, y'all. We got some bills to pay because we up on Fuel Network right now, baby. I know, you know what I'm saying, and that's just how it is, man. When you've got something like Fuel Network that's starting to build up strong, y'all go on all your Roku devices and TVs and your Amazon devices and TVs, Fire Sticks, download it. It's free. Well, then
Yes,
you got to
sir.
pay bills. So we're gonna pay some bills, Jersey, and we'll be right back here on Hell Raises Podcast, y'all. Don't go anywhere,
Yes.
y'all. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hellraisers Podcast, baby. Yeah, this is the official home of the Renegades Fan Nation and Hellraisers like me, like you, like all of you, everywhere. Not just in Arlington, we're everywhere, baby. We may be small, but we're going to bring hell. We're going to come loud every week. I don't care. I don't care where we could be, man. We're 0-4 right now, Jersey, and I'm still mad. I'm still talking. I don't care because I still think we got a chance to win this week, dog. Am I crazy for
I think
that?
you
But
do.
check this out, y'all.
Oh,
This is the first
not
and
at all.
only podcast dedicated to the Arlington Renegades by the fans, for the fans, because I am a fan. So y'all already know how that goes, man. So where all my hell raises at, man. And we are in the place right now with my special guest, Jersey the King of the Gridiron Show, of the Jersey the King Show, Mr. Program Director himself.
I'm over here shaking my head, and I apologize, y'all, to even get off the subject. But the Chicago Bears should be ashamed of themselves to sit here and take almost the whole full 10 minutes to announce that they were taking Caleb Williams #1, and we knew this last year. Like, what? The
Yeah.
whole 10 minutes, though? Like,
You
y'all
already
left
know.
like 2
They had to
minutes
make
in
an
the
entrance, dog. They got to make an entrance out of it. You know how that goes. They're the first pick in
sir.
the draft, man. But you
Right.
know what? I'm wondering if it was like Goodell's people, like maybe the TV people are like, all right, y'all, don't do this right away. Let the build up. And it's like, let people think that y'all are thinking twice about this. I'm like, man, they traded Justin
Right.
Fields a long time ago. They ain't thinking twice about nothing. You know what I
They
mean?
knew.
So,
They knew before the end of the season last season. But
hey,
anyways,
check it out.
back
Time
to
out,
the
y'all.
start.
Hellraisers. I got to introduce the world to somebody real quick. Okay. And he is a future Hellraiser. There he is. My little grandbaby. Raymond. Oh, he's looking at the light. He's looking at the ring light. He goes, "Ooh, what's that? What is that? What
He's
is
so
it, baby
cute.
boy?" Yeah, that's my little Hellraiser right there, man. That's grandbaby. That's the one I'm always telling you. I gotta end the show because I gotta get inside to go see my grandbaby. That's my boy right there. So, Hellraisers, meet my grandson. Grandson,
Future
meet the
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Yes, he is a future Hellraiser, definitely.
What's
Gonna be
going
a
on,
future
youngin?
artist from the gate. All right.
When did you get older and raise hell?
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's already raising hell with his mama.
Yep.
He already is.
See?
He's already causing problems.
Over it.
He's already causing
It's just
problems.
the start.
I was
It's just the
gonna bring
start.
my little girl onto the camera too, but she don't want to. She's shy. She's shy. Come here. Come here. All right. Anyways, also, all right. Hey, let's keep rolling on, my friend, because let's get into what went down across the UFL this week. I mean, of course, we had some good games again. I mean, the Renegades game, obviously. And, you know, the sad thing is it was a close game. So as bad as we played, it was a close game. Now.
Yeah. Still ended up being a close game. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I gotta give them that. They still fought at the end. But for any of you guys who are idiotic enough to say that Luis Perez is the problem, I want you to take a second. I want you to put your hand up to you. And I want you to say, hand,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, or I accept your apology for what you're about to do to me.
Mm-hmm.
And smack yourself in the damn face.
Mm-hmm.
Because this man is leading the league in passing yards.
Yeah.
And if the receivers would be catching the ball and getting yards after catch, guess what? He'd probably be leading in passing touchdowns as well. Just saying.
He probably would be.
Just saying.
Now, let me ask you, bro. I've been seeing, you know, everybody's talking about, you know, maybe a change at quarterback. And that, of course, that's nonsense. But I will say this. I expected to see more of Lindsey Scott this past week especially when Luis was having trouble getting the ball to his guys, when they were dropping the ball. You know, I'm like, okay, let's change it up then. Right? I mean, it's what you talked about all offseason about Lindsey Scott bringing in that other dimension. My issue is they didn't use him enough. He threw one pass, dog. Completed it for 21 yards. Because
That's
every
my
time
problem
that
as
every
well.
call that they're and that's the thing with Chuck Long is anytime that he's out there, they know it's going to be a run pass option, and he's likely going to keep the ball and run for it. You know what I mean? I think they really need to not only get him more plays, but they need to get him in more pass plays because Lindsey Scott, for anybody that has watched this dude play before now, he's got a cannon on him, bro. That dude has got some power in his arm. He can get the ball downfield. So,
and he's accurate. That's another thing that he does not lack. He does not lack accuracy. And I think, and I agree with you wholeheartedly and 100%. They need to, when they bring him in the game, they need to stop making it a run pass option and actually put him in actual offensive sets where he can actually run a passing play.
Yeah. If you want to give him two progressions, that's it. If you want to give him two progressions and then tell him if they're both covered, take off.
Exactly. Or get your two progressions downfield, your check down, and if all three are covered, take off.
Yes.
Because while you're taking off, if that check down becomes open before you get to the line of scrimmage, then you're able to throw the ball. Like he did on one play where he threw a little shovel pass.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, you got to stop bringing him in the game and setting the offense up for failure. Yeah, it might work against some opponents, but a lot of opponents have already reading that. A lot of coaches are already reading that. Oh, Lindsey Scott's in the game. Get ready for a run pass option.
He's not going to throw downfield. They're not going to let him. They're not going to let him. Who drafted who? What?
Jaden Daniels to the Commanders.
Oh man, see that's what I was afraid of, dog. Why you gotta give me some bad news? I'm already talking about bad news on the Hellraisers show because we're 0-4, and now you're giving me more bad news as a Cowboys fan. I did not want him in the NFC East, man.
Me neither.
Go to the comments. What is up, Sandy? How are you? Thank you for watching today. And my boy Hendo. Yeah, what is up, Hendo? How you doing, brother? Hope you're living good out there. Hey, so Mike Tackett, and this is good, okay? Because right now we're talking about what's going on. What does the team need to do? Okay, and he asked a good question. He says, is Stoops living on borrowed time? And I believe he is. Because
I do too.
When you coming off a championship, regardless of how last regular season went, and you're coming in with the expectations, yes, they got better. So what's going on? And I'm the reason I believe Stoops is on borrowed time is because he's still got that old school mentality where everybody knows that all his staff is guys that he's brought along, that he's worked with all his career. There is such thing, y'all, in football right now, professional football, that the game is passing a lot of these old school coaches by because they're not willing to bring in some new talent on their coaching staff, some young guys. You know what I mean? And I think, yes, if Stoops is not willing to make some changes on his staff in this offseason, then he could be gone. I mean, look at the whole running back situation, bro. It's like he's like, no, these are my guys from last year. I'm rolling with my guys. And I'm like,
instead of Morgan Ellison.
You had Morgan Ellison on your roster, bro, and now he's playing in San Antonio. You know what I mean?
Second best running back in the league last year, stat wise. Stop. Why would you cut him to keep Devion and Letty? Like, I'm just saying, they're not. You see, there's no two-headed monster. Mm-hmm. They're not getting the job done. Mm-mm. There's no explosiveness in their runs, and when there is, it's splashes of plays.
Yeah,
spots.
And see, I like what I'm seeing from Davion the last 2 weeks. He's running hard, breaking tackles. The problem is he needs to be a complimentary back. You know what I mean? He's that power runner. He's not the guy that you're going to have 3 downs. It's going to be, consistently get you your 3.5, 4 yards per carry. Exactly. And Letty Brown is better out of, the pass game coming out of the backfield. And he's why I was waiting, bro. Yeah. And I was waiting for them like the last few weeks. All right, man, we're going to re-sign Ellison. And then I see a news thing pop up the other day about Ellison getting signed. And I look and I was like, oh, man, wrong Texas team, man. What's going on? Mm-hmm. So that is the problem with Stoops is he's a stubborn coach, y'all. He is to the point that he can be stubborn to a fault when it comes to his roster and when it comes to his staff. And right now, it's not working. It's not. I mean, Luis Perez is carrying the team as best he can. He is. His receivers have been inconsistent at best. Last week, man, I'm seeing drops. He did miss some guys on a couple of them, but I was seeing some big drops, bro. And that's when I'm watching this, and I'm watching guys drop the ball, and I'm watching the miscommunications, and he's pointing to him saying, you were supposed to hit this route, like the interception he had where he's expecting Canella to go outside on that outpost to adjust to it, and instead he stopped to turn. You know what I mean? And then the other receiver, ball wasn't even going for, ended up falling down anyways, turns into an interception. So at that point, I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to bring in Van Der Esch, who had some chemistry with this dude last year. You know what I mean? And the couple times we've seen him thrown to, he's made the catch this year. And then they're like, all right, nice play. Now get back on the bench. And it's like, you know what? If your receivers aren't being that consistent, get him back out there.
Because when you text that to me, when we were watching the game, you text that. You said they should put Van Der Esch in the game. They put Van Der Esch in the game, and what does he do? He comes in and he makes a first down immediately. Makes a first down catch immediately.
Reception. Yeah.
You take him out the game. Mm-hmm. Like this was one of his best targets last season.
Yeah, this could be a hot hand for that game. Get him going. You know what I mean? Get him going and see if he can get something, because in this game, offense, we had nothing going. Nothing. And I was still,
At
by the
all.
second half, I'm like, okay, we're not seeing any new personnel out there. What's going on, Stoops? Where's the adjustments, man? Because I didn't see any.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that comes down to
So-
his staff. That comes down to his staff with Jay Hayes and Chuck Long. Like, these guys as coordinators, if you're not going to make the adjustments, and obviously on defense, it's been a problem all season, the inconsistency, then get them out. And I'm looking at the stat sheets, and people got to, some people have told me, well, look at the stats, though. Defense, we're not giving up a lot. And I'm like, y'all need to slow down. Stop thinking in terms of NFL. Okay, because you're not going to see the kind of offensive stats from players on a weekly basis that you're going to see in the NFL, because they do things differently in this league. You know what I mean? Things just play calling gets done a little bit differently. What's that face for, bro? Now what?
Drake May.
Patriots.
Drake May to the Patriots in number 3.
Yeah.
3 quarterbacks.
I think everybody saw that coming. No. Yeah. All 3 teams at the
Wow.
top of the board needed quarterbacks, man. This is where the quarterbacks stop getting picked, though, unless the Giants surprise us, but we'll see. But so, all right. Now, let's keep rolling on, brother. Let's keep rolling on.
The Giants.
I know I got a few Cowboys fans that listen to the show. If you're an Arlington Renegades fan from Arlington, you're likely a Cowboys fan.
He said the Giants. They better draft the damn quarterback. They better be smart.
They're gonna go get a wide receiver 1, bro. You watch. So,
see,
all right, man.
This stat right here hurts me.
Luis Perez, that was a stat in the game: 15 or 28, 144 pass yards against Houston. The 1 touchdown, and it was just that was a bad. I mean, I believe this was his first game this season going under 200 yards passing. Hell, it was just a week ago that he was just shy of 300 yards, man. You know what I mean? With a couple of touchdown passes. Yeah. So I'm going to give him, it's okay for him to have a bad game. This is why on the defense, okay, if your quarterback is going to struggle a little bit, because you need that defense to get it done, man. And they have not got it done this year at all. At all in crunch time.
And it's
I need to see some changes.
It's disappointing because when you look at Luis Perez as a leader, you can't contribute to his bad game. You have to do something on that defensive side of the ball to put a spark back in him. Like, okay, defense got us going.
Yeah.
So let me go out here and
we're gonna get this ball back. Yeah, let me go get a turnover.
Let me refocus.
Yeah.
Let me refocus and get out here and make some big plays. Running backs, let's refocus and get out here and make some big plays. Our defense is keeping us in this damn game. Let's do our job.
Yeah.
Anytime a quarterback or even a running back or even a wide receiver is having an off game or a bad game, if the defense is keeping them in a game, that can help re-energize them and get them and refocus them for the game. And that's one thing that I'm seeing is lacking with the Renegades this season.
How do you think DC's been winning ball games? How do you think the defenders have been winning? They're letting that defense is just hanging around just enough, keeping them close enough, holding the field goals, and getting a turnover here and there until they can say, okay, now, Tom, we kept y'all in it. Now, do your thing here in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's been the problem, bro, straight up. So there have got to be some changes. They're not making any changes in personnel on the field. So I don't know what's going on there. I haven't seen nothing about Stoops making any changes in the staff. Either way, I don't see staff changes being done until the end of the season anyways. That's a whole different thing. You don't normally see coaches losing their jobs. You know what I mean? You don't see coaches losing their job.
Lucky I ain't the damn owner or the head coach. We be making some changes mid-season, damn it. What is all this?
Let me ask you a question. Who makes these decisions in the UFL, though? Being that there's no private ownership.
I believe the head coaches do. I believe the head coaches
get to decide. Yeah, they get full control over their staff, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe that's
So
how it works in the NFL until
right
we get.
now, I'm gonna need Stoops to. I don't know, man. You know what? You know what? We're gonna go to a commercial break because there's only one thing that's gonna make me see them that kind of turn my thoughts around about all this, and that's going to be getting a big win this week against a good team. But we're gonna get into that in just a little bit, y'all. We're gonna take one more commercial break, and then we're gonna get into Know Thy Enemy because we got a big one coming up this week, y'all. So don't go anywhere, y'all. Hellraisers Podcast. We'll be right back, y'all.
Forget the money and fame. Stay ready, making sure that they remember my name. I got a hunger inside when the numbers are tied. Yo, I'ma turn it up a level, never.
Now I can say welcome back to Hellraisers Podcast. Y'all, your boy Gabriel Garcia. That is me. I am your host here up in the house with my boy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Jersey, the king
You already know.
himself. Yeah. And we just been
Sir.
here with y'all, just letting out all of it. Oh man, all this aggression, this rage. Okay, it ain't that serious, but all this
It is, though.
frustration, man. All this frustration about a
It is.
team that has seriously underachieved this year. And week in and week out, bro, we're seeing people that aren't even Renegades fans. I'm seeing Stallions fans. I'm seeing, even Brahmas fans. Not all of them, but fans, the rivals that are like, they're better than their record. They are better than their record. And yes, they are better than their record, but all that matters is their record in the end.
And
That's all that matters.
all that
that
matters.
final score, man. So, yeah. But you know what, though? We were just talking about Stoops, changes he got to make. And now it all starts with a big one this week, man. This next segment of Know Thy Enemy featuring the San Antonio Brahmas, bro. And I really want this game because Brahmas fans seem to have forgotten how bad they were last year. I know I'm not the only one noticing how loud they're talking. Like they're sounding like Stallions fans right now. And while I get irritated with Stallions fans, I'm like, but y'all are two-type tabs, so you can talk. You feel me? Like Brahmas fans right now, though. Like they're clowning on Renegades, and I'm like, I get it. Y'all are bitter as hell. Them and St. Louis fans are so bitter by what the Renegades did last year. But Brahmas fans, I'm like, man, y'all, you guys realize that you were trash last year, right? That y'all didn't make the playoffs last year, right? And now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, see, this is how bad the Renegades are. Yeah, we're a bad team this year. But y'all need to settle down. Y'all need to settle down because we've seen how competitive every week is in this league. Okay. And I haven't, and the Renegades have not been blown out this year. We had that first game, the second half, they were outplayed, but they were in control up to halftime of that game. They were probably in it up until about the fourth quarter when the Stallions ran away with it. But every other game, even on the road in front of 40,000 plus, bro, hostile crowd in St. Louis with AJ McCarron and his dogs out there. And it came down to that last minute. All right, DC came down to that last minute.
Luckily, JPZ wasn't out there. Just saying, our
he went off this week, didn't he? He went off, but either way, man, they are like San Antonio fans are talking, bro. Like this is gonna be the freaking Stallions and Memphis all over again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm like, y'all need to settle down. I get it. Your offense been decent. Your new quarterback looked pretty good. You know what I mean? Defense has been good, but we see it every week in this league, okay, where it's coming down to the end. I think we've had, maybe 2 blowouts this year? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and Ramos fans, the reason y'all need to settle down too, I keep hearing them say, oh, we were right in the end with that Battlehawks game. But were you really? While the score showed it, yes, but that entire fourth... No. Let's be real, though, Jersey. That entire fourth quarter, the Battlehawks were in control. That's why they did not lose that lead late in the game. They were in control the entire fourth quarter. They had a two score lead up
The
until
Battle
those last couple minutes.
offense was in control of that fourth quarter. The defense was a little up and down because remember at one point the Battlehawks had a 2-score lead.
That's what I'm saying. But
And then
if
their
you ask
defense was
Brahmas fans are acting like they were neck and neck the whole game, like it was a shootout the way we
no,
did it with them. No, I'm like, and I even told them, y'all must have been thinking you're the Renegades because that's the way the Renegades and Battlehawks game went down. All right, that one was
because
a back
you
and
got to
forth.
remember if you really go back and watch that game, the Battlehawks were up huge going into halftime, and the next thing you know, St. Louis or San Antonio was right back in the game.
And
So it
speaking of the
was there was
Battlehawks, speaking of the
brother
Battlehawks,
Alabama Lou. What's
Tyler
going on,
Bird, what is up, man? What is up,
what's
that
going
boy?
on, brother?
But okay, so let's get into this, bro. Know thy enemy, San Antonio Brahmas. If I'm looking at everything across the board, okay, Arlington's going in this with the number 3 ranked offense in the league, even after the struggles last week. Number 3, San Antonio's coming in ranked number 4. When you look at the two defenses, though, total defense, San Antonio number 4, Arlington number 6, and I'm like, really? Like we ain't worse? I was actually surprised when I was doing my research because I was already expecting, all right, we're number 8 in the league, putting down my notes. And I was like, oh, wait, no, overall in yardage, we're actually number 6. But
Actually pretty good, yeah.
yeah, so when you look at the passing, I mean, Arlington right now, after that week last week, the passing offense dropped down to number 3, but San Antonio boosted up to number 2 overall in pass offense. Now, when you look at the rush, this surprised me as well. Is that Arlington is actually an overall rush. San Antonio is 6.
Yeah.
And that
Actually surprised.
I guess when you look at San Antonio's record, it kind of disguises the fact that they've maybe had some struggles in the run game, which makes the Morgan Ellison signing a lot of sense. It makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know how much we'll see of him this week. I don't want to say we're not going to see him much. He's not in football shape because I said that last week about Mark Thompson, and look what that did. That came out to bite me right in the butt. And I'm watching him run in the touchdown. I'm like, man, I got to learn when to keep my mouth shut. But that ain't happening, man.
And you heard Curtis Johnson just said he's going to make sure Mark Thompson gets at least 20 to 25 touches this game coming up. So,
yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah. Now, let's look at this one. You know what surprised me this past week, bro, with the Houston game was how bad we were on third down. Because even going after that game, as bad as we were, right now, the Arlington Renegades offensively are number 1 in the league in third down percentage with 54%. Right? San Antonio all the way down at number 7 at 37%. They're not very good on third down. The thing is, they're getting through with the big play, like on second down and stuff like that. So keep an eye on that this week, y'all. Is that third down percentage. Now, I get it. They're playing our defense. This is why I really need our running backs just to please control this game, control that clock, man, because we have got to keep San Antonio's offense off the field. They live on the big play. They live on the big play, and we have to make sure that our DBs are not going to be constantly out there because while we're going to see Teddy Adewusi turn around, Teddy Adewusi knock a play down, and then the next one, they're going to give up like a big 45-yard. It's just what they've done this year. I don't want to see that this week. Now, another thing that really got me this past week that I've been complaining about is the penalties. San Antonio is number 1 in penalties. We are number 2. So we've got to clean those up. We had 7 penalties against Houston, and it's always at the worst possible time, Jersey. It's on a third down where you've stopped the play, and you get like a late hit or to the quarterback or something, or it's on oh my gosh, it happened twice this week against Houston, where Manigault gets us a good return, and then you've got, illegal block in the back, it's coming back. Or you've got a holding on the kickoff, and it's coming back. The penalties are another problem, and I think that's another knock on Stoops right now is that there just isn't any – when it comes to the penalties, bro, Like whose fault is that? Because a lot of it is boneheaded stuff, man. Nobody's being held accountable for this stuff,
There's
obviously.
no discipline. There's no discipline on either
That's the
side
word I was looking
because
for. That's the word.
there's offensive penalties and defensive penalties that are just kicking our ass.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if the team isn't disciplined, the team ain't gonna win. It comes down to that.
It
By the
does.
way, Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, as we knew, was selected fourth to the Cardinals, and Joe Alt, offensive tackle from
Chargers?
uh, Notre Dame. Yeah, Joe Alt just went to the Chargers.
Wow. I'm surprised by that. I know they needed a tackle, but man, do they need receivers there with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams gone now. Wow. All right, man. Wow. Hey, JP, wherever you at, JP. I know JP's gonna be like, man, he's praying for a quarterback. But I'm like, nah, y'all gonna go. They're gonna get Malik Neighbors now. It's gonna happen. Neighbors gonna go there now. So he's praying for a
And
quarterback, bro.
they're gonna put Tommy, Danny, Marco DeVito, whatever his name is. They're gonna put DeVito back there. So Danny, we're gonna trade Danny. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll talk more about it on Saturday.
Yeah.
During
So
rounds.
we're looking at San
5.
Antonio. Now they've got Dormady. You know, Dormady, what are you thinking of this guy, man? I mean, I know it's been a small sample size right now, but he's held it down while since he came in. But you know how it is, bro. How it is. A lot of times people look at a player, especially a quarterback, rolls it up, but then once some of these good defenses get some film on them, and I'm not saying we're a good defense. I'm just saying sometimes when you get some film on him, you start to see, okay, maybe he struggles under pressure a little bit. Maybe he holds on to the ball too long or whatnot. What are we looking at with Dormady?
See, I watched Quentin Dormady for a couple years now, and I seen Quentin Dormady last year on Orlando. And every time he came in, when he was backing up Paxton Lynch, every single time he came in, he got Orlando back in the game. Whether it was doing the right thing with his arm, making the right decisions with his throws, on RPOs, he was handing the ball off at the right time, on the right plays, when he saw the right moves being made by the defensive end. Quentin Dormady is a very smart and intelligent quarterback. Yeah, he threw an interception last week, and it was kind of a bad interception because he threw up a 50-50 ball when he didn't have to with John J. Kirkland. You know, he could have threw a bullet to John J. Kirkland, and he already knows John J. Kirkland would have caught that. But you put him in a situation where Samson Nakua hopped right over there and said, you know what, I see this 50-50 ball coming because of the way it was thrown. You know, so honestly, he doesn't have a tendency of making bad decisions. So that's one thing that Arlington's going to have to be careful of when it comes to Quentin Dormady as the starting quarterback. Because even when he was on Orlando last XFL, he made good decisions and he was very intelligent with his QB play. Like his IQ is very high for a spring league quarterback. And I think that we just have to be careful because what did he do in his first start? He came in and threw over 200 yards. And I was shocked when he wasn't named the starter at the beginning of the season. And then, as you guys seen, I jumped on the Chase Garbers bandwagon.
Yeah.
Like,
but see, this is my thing. This is my thing with when quarterbacks come in like this. And you just said it yourself. Like Dormady was at his best when he was coming in during the game with Orlando. So teams weren't preparing for him at quarterback. The more he plays,
did well as a starter as well.
Okay, but how did Orlando do? How did Orlando do though?
That was in the defense.
Okay,
Come on now.
I'll give you that.
Because let's keep it real. When the defense and the offense were both on the same page, shutdown mode. Who did they beat last year in the XFL that nobody thought they would beat? The DC Defenders.
Yeah.
And guess who was the starting quarterback for that game? Quentin Dormady.
You see, this is why I brought you on the show, my dog. Those all right, man. So now you mentioned that
there's no drop off.
Yeah,
that's another
thing. The thing that could help us, especially if Saint Amour plays, is that, like I said, the one knock that I've seen constantly with Dormady is that he tends at times to hold on to the ball too long because he's looking to make a play. You know what I mean? That's what he's looking for. So that could help the Renegades at times. Problem is, do I trust our secondary in those situations to hold up long enough? I don't know. I don't know if I do, because they haven't been able to do it all season long. You know what I mean? There's times where they do and the pass rush gets there. But for the most part, I don't know if it happens a lot, if I trust them, which is why I really think it's good, especially if Redmond doesn't play this week, because he's missed 2 practices now. So he's probably not going to play. We're going to need Saint Amour in there coming on the edge with Vic Beasley, man. They're going to have to do something there. Definitely, man. What's the base? What's the base? Yeah, that's going to be a problem, bro, for Cowboys fans. Oh, it's going to be nice, though. Diggs coming in next year. We're going to see. That's going to be fun. All right, man. So now you mentioned John Trey Kirkland. Now, he's obviously their leading pass catcher, man. He's number 2 in the league, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, for me, the other pass catcher we have to worry about is their tight end, Cody Latimer. He's got 188 yards right now, 1 touchdown. He's a guy that I think that if we have to focus so much on Kirkland, so much of our defensive backfield on Kirkland, Cody Latimer can be a problem for this Renegades defense, bro, if we're not careful in this game.
Especially in on the deep balls. As a tight end, transitioning from wide receiver to tight end, that's perfect for him. That's perfect for him. You know, if he has a huge season, he could be one of those guys that actually goes to the NFL and actually gets on the roster and actually gets playing time.
Yeah.
At the tight end position. But that's going to be a threat. If we can contain him from getting that, that long ball threat going and just what he's able to do from that tight end position as a former wide receiver, if we can just contain him and kind of shut him down like he was shut down in the first couple of games of the season where he really didn't get a lot of targets, you know what I mean? Then it'll be a lot easier to focus more on Justin Smith and John Trey Kirkland.
Now, I really expect Luis well. I don't expect him to have 2 bad games in a row, because he's been consistently good. So, but what I do think our defense needs to do is just keep it enough that we keep this game close, because like you just said, prevent the deep ball. Because like I said earlier, that is what San Antonio does well. That's why they're so bad on 3rd down, but they get a lot of these big plays on 2nd down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we have got to prevent the big play. That's going to be the challenge. Now, on the other side of the ball, one of the key matchups that I'm really looking forward to seeing is seeing safety Jordan Mosley or middle linebacker Jordan Williams. One of these guys is going to have the job of playing Sal Cannella. And Sal Cannella, when this dude gets on, we know he's got hands. That drop last week, very uncharacteristic of him. But this dude, man, especially when they get in the red zone, he is a problem and he is a threat. And they're probably going to mix up their coverages between the safety and the linebackers and trying to contain him. But other than that, that's the one matchup that I really do think that we have to exploit this week. And maybe it is time, bro, to bring in Caleb Van Der Esch. Put him in those four wide sets and let's see what he's got. And please, Chuck Long, when you're going for it on 4th down and short, stop putting these four wide with no running back in the backfield. Yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me? You have got to have a running back there either to pick up that blitz on your 4th down conversion or as the security blanket, man, that if everybody's covered for Luis can just dump it underneath to him. I was getting so frustrated when we're going for it on 3rd and 4th and short and there's no running back in the backfield, bro. And I'm like, man, it's too predictable.
Like, why are we using these open backfield sets with no one back there and expecting them not to be prepared for it on defense?
Yeah, give my boy a security blanket. You know what I'm saying?
We know Luis ain't one of the most mobile.
No, he's not. He's a pocket passer. You're right. You're right. He is a pure pocket passer.
Why put him in those dumb situations to where he has no protection, no help in the backfield? Like you said, easy little check down on 4th and 3. We're converting that.
And with you're extending your drive. Yes.
So it's just things that Bob Stoops, Chuck Long, and the offense have to get together, and then a lot of things on defense with what I think Hayes just needs to be replaced. I'm sorry, but I think
it's time. I mean, I think Stoops has to take over the play calling. If I'm being real. So That's a big one this week, y'all. Let us know. Get with me on the social medias, y'all. And don't forget, Hellraisers Podcast every Thursday, all season long. Y'all can catch it
Yes,
on
sir.
Fuel. And on Fridays, you'll be able to catch it with my boys over at the United Football Media up on their YouTube page every Friday afternoon, man. So y'all be sure to go and check it all out, man. We got some good content there for every team, covering every single team. And yeah, man, we got a big one coming up this week, though, because this essentially it is the season. I mean, granted, I'm like, in my mind, bro, I'm already like, nah, we ain't making the playoffs. But
Yeah,
if you
this is
want
the
to look at
season.
mathematically, this is the season this week. And how much I would love for them to go and beat San Antonio with the way their fans are talking. Just silence them down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't forget, Gridiron Nation podcast is available every Tuesday on all audio streaming platforms. Sometimes I go live, sometimes I don't. You never know. You never know. And don't forget, y'all, every Saturday, the Gridiron Show with my co-host there, Mr. Jersey the King. Yeah, and
Yes,
I will not
sir.
be there this week, y'all, but hey, you want to talk all things UFL and then some? It's the man right here. It's the man that's going to
And
get it to you this week.
if you guys do watch the UFL Today show, last year it was the XFL Today show, but this
Yeah.
year it's the UFL Today show. And just like last year, I had Scooby Mageza from the XFL Today show on the show, and he may be popping up this Saturday. So make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna
There
be
you
talking a
go.
lot of UFL. We're gonna be recapping some of the draft. You know what I mean? And we got a lot to talk about this Saturday coming up. So make sure you guys tune in. And
There you go.
if Gabe does not go live with the Gridiron, you can catch the re-air of the Gridiron on Fuel Sports Network. So make sure you guys go and download the Fuel Sports Network channel on your Roku apps, TVs, your Amazon apps and TVs and sticks and devices and anything that allows you to watch and preview on Roku and Amazon.
So much technology now, man. You can catch the
So
shows everywhere, y'all. Like there's so many places now that you can catch our shows, be it on audio, be it on YouTube, be it social media. Now with Fuel, it's
yes.
crazy. It's crazy, man. And don't forget, y'all,
Also,
send me
not,
send me
not
your
to cut you off.
emails. Send me your emails. One renegadesfan at gmail.com. Send me your email
You almost said
questions
it
and we'll
again.
talk about I almost said the Gridiron Nation. It's a habit, man. It's a habit. All right. One renegadesfan at gmail.com. Send me your questions and we'll get them in every single week, man. Every single week.
Oh, did you check out the new AFL show on Fuel
I did not.
for the
I
arena
did not.
football?
I
Yeah,
did
there's a
not.
new show on Fuel as well called the AFL show. There's another show called I think At the Park, STL.
Okay.
So there
Lot,
we got
lot,
we got a
lot
lot.
going on.
Yeah, yeah, man, definitely. And there may be some changes to the Wednesday slate to where it's all women shows. So there's a lot of things
Imagine
going
that.
on, man. We're definitely gonna be, showing our women love and getting a lot
Yeah.
more women led shows on the network as well. So
And if y'all are
yeah,
on Facebook, go on and hit the search bar and look for the group, Renegades Fan Nation. Join it. It's a new group. We're trying to grow, man. We're over 200 people now, 200 members. We're almost to 300. We're trying to get it even more. Man. So y'all,
Yeah.
join us. Let's
When we
talk,
get
man.
to
Post.
1K, when we get to 1K for that group, yo, it's gonna be lit. I'm
Yeah,
just
it
saying.
gives you guys an opportunity to go post your memes and rant on the team if you want to, because like I said last week, y'all, if you're a real fan, we're still gonna be here. We could be 0-9 going into week 10, right? We're still gonna be there watching the games, hoping, believing the team can win. Because when you're a real fan, bro, that's what you do. And that's why I say the real fans, though, that do that, you can talk. You can complain about the team. You can demand better from the team. Because even though you're not getting better from the team, you're still going to sit there and watch them every single week, believing they can win, just like I believe that we're going to beat the Brahmas this week. I'm going to even give y'all a score. I don't care. I got nothing to lose, Jersey. I'm putting it out there. I got us winning this game 27-24, baby. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one.
27 to 24.
I got the Renegades upsetting the Brahmas. Yeah. You know, because
that's what
the Brahmas are still they're new to winning, bro. So they don't know how to continue this week in and week out. That's what I'm banking on this week, anyways. Come on, Renegades, help me out, baby. Let's go. Come on.
Alabama offensive tackle J.C. Latham just got drafted to the Tennessee Titans. Just to update you guys before we get up out of here.
And B says that is called loyalty to your team. That is right, B.
Damn right.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
And I'm being loyal to the team this season because it's the only team I have to root for right now.
Why you got to say it all sad like that, dog?
Because we're 0-4, man.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Still the king of spring on that team. He originally came from the Vegas Vipers.
That's right. Even if it comes down, just win some games. I don't see this I don't see us going winless. You know what I mean? I think the offense is too good with him back there. I
don't think the team will allow themselves to go winless.
Yeah, it's time to start playing for some pride.
This is when it turns around. Yeah, I think this is when it turns around. It's going to be a game that I believe comes down to the wire. It pains me to even say this because I have so much high hopes for San Antonio this season as far as what they're going to do overall. I literally had San Antonio and Arlington as my two teams in the XFL championship. That's what I was really thinking.
See, I had St. Louis and Arlington. Yeah,
I had St. Louis on the outside looking in again because of the second matchup between San Antonio. I believe San Antonio is going to actually win in that second matchup. But I'm just saying, there's a long shot. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, guys, there's a long shot, Hellraisers, for the Renegades to make the playoffs. But we got to win out and win big in every game. So fingers crossed. Hopefully Bob Stoops stops drinking that juice he's drinking and gets it together over there.
Players got to play with some pride, man. They need to come out on that field, most specifically the defense this week, and raise some hell, literally. If they can do that, they'll be in it at the end of this game, and they'll have a chance to win it, man. So we're about to get up out of here, y'all. You know, the hour is up, man. Shout out to my boy Jersey. Thank you so much, brother, for joining us today on Hellraisers Podcast. You already know.
Time flies when you're talking football, man. I love it, man. And thank you for
having
me, brother. I greatly appreciate you. You know what I mean? Always have fun being on the show with you. You know, whether it's on the Gridiron, whether I guess appear on Gridiron Nation, or whether I'm here on Hellraisers. You know what I mean?
We're everywhere, bro. We're everywhere. Y'all get used to seeing us. That's all I'm saying, man. Y'all get used to seeing us. So we're about to get up out of here, y'all. But before we do, man, you know, the team continues to battle adversity, and it's no different than us Hellraisers, week in and week out. You know what I mean? We're going to continue to battle adversity just like the squad, but we're going to go to work. We're going to get up and deal with life, whatever it is we're doing every day, and deal with the BS that it throws at you. You're going to get up, step back out on the field, and go at it again.
And you're going to keep moving forward.
That's right.
Because if you look back, and this is the one thing I learned, y'all. If you live in the past, you stay in the past.
You stay there. Exactly. Exactly. So whatever it is y'all deal with this week, man, just go at it full force. Whatever situation life puts you in, just step into that situation. And all you got to do to get through it is raise some hell, baby. I am Gabriel Garcia. He is Jersey the King. This is Hellraisers Podcast, y'all. Yeah, big game Saturday, y'all. Be ready. It's going down. And we'll see if Luis Perez plays. I expect to see more changes at quarterback this week with his knee issues going on. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Hellraisers, we're going to catch y'all next week. Next Thursday, Hellraisers Podcast will return, and hopefully we'll be talking about a victory. Jersey the King. Really? I am Gabriel Garcia. We'll catch y'all next week, y'all. This is Hellraisers Podcast. It's all one love. Raise some hell.
Raise hell, baby.
My name is cause I'm killing the game. Bring your best, ask yourself, do you know what you're doing? Go on and call your people, tell them trouble is brewing. Tell them wicked is here with an army of kings. My game is fully extreme, a human M16. Put your battle gear on, if you think you can beat me.